This is Frank A. Thomas. I'm so excited to talk about what preachers can learn from Jay-Z. Let me, in this series on African American preaching, talk to you briefly and quickly about
I believe there's a connection between the best of rapping, notice not all hip hop, but the best of rapping, and the best of preaching. Notice, I didn't say not all preaching. The best of both art forms, and the goal of both, as Jay-Z says, is to refine, to elevate, and to transform experience, to snatch the ground from under you and make the most familiar things open up until it feels like you're seeing it for the first time. Over my head, I hear music. He said, we hustle out of a sense of hopelessness, sort of a desperation. We become addicted, sort of like the fiends we're accustomed to serving, but we feel we have nothing to lose. So we offer, well, our lives, right? What do you bring to the table? You ain't listening. You ain't listening. According to the rhetorical critic Jay-Z, the real is based upon how an MC shapes their experience into a rhyme. That is, it's the validity of emotional truth embedded in the rapper and the rhyme communicated to the audience. Jay-Z then, and as I said in the aforementioned quote, lists specific criteria for designing the reel. It's the logic the lyrics follow. It's the emotional truth that supports the lyrics. It's the human motivations that the MC fills in, and the commitment to getting even the smallest details right. Based upon the fact that, in my estimation, too much of preaching today is not real. I would like to explain how I understand each of the criteria of Jay-Z that he suggests and the relevance of preaching. Let's talk about the logic of the lyrics. Gina, could you pass in that water, please? The logic of the lyrics. When Jay-Z says the logic of the lyrics are part of keeping it real, my interpretation of what he means is, first, the way the rhyme or the story is structured, that is, the content of the plot or the narrative is designed for maximum impact, feeling, and effect. And second, does the story or the rhyme make sense and follow the logic of real life? Upon experiencing the rhyme, does the listener ask this question, can this really happen? Can I imagine this happening this way in real life? Let me try to illustrate this point by discussing lyrics to Jay-Z's song, Meet the Parents. This is what he says. And we loved him because in him we saw some of us. He walked like us, talked like us. His back against the wall, nigga fought like us. Damn. He then shifts the narrative to talk about the single mother of the deceased, Isis, who is not strong enough to raise a boy by herself, given the reality of the streets. The father's name was Shorty, who never knew the boy, never tried to raise the boy. After the death of her son and seeing his body at the city morgue, Isis turns to drugs. Her addiction grows and grows until she, as the song says, slips into her own fantasy world. Jay-Z fully develops the character of Isis by suggesting that she, like so many young ladies in the ghetto, fall for the aggressive, violent, and exciting Shorty at 16. What is appealing at 16 is not necessarily attractive when a thug becomes a grown man. You ain't listening. He identifies the absent father, Shorty, now as Mike. Mike has a son that is now 15, as Jay-Z reminds us again, he disowned from birth. Mike is still on the streets, and he approaches this 15-year-old thug. At the end of the confrontation, both end up drawing their .38 caliber guns. The younger is faster and has the drop on Mike. But the young son hesitates because the face looks familiar. Jay-Z adds, he has studied every face looking for the face of his father, and he finally sees his face, or a face that looks, he hesitates. But the father does not hesitate, and by the ways of the street shoots and kills his son. The song ends, 6 shots into his kin out of his gun. Niggas be a father, you're killing your sons. 6 shots into his kin out of his gun. Niggas be a father, you're killing your sons. Meet the parents.